Ready?
Ready.
Call the order of the Palm Springs Public Arts Commission, a special meeting of Tuesday, September 17th, 2024 at 11:08 a.m. Jay, could you do roll call?
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Here.
Commissioner Landy.
Here.
Commissioner Silvera.
Here.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Here.
Commissioner Favreau is not present. Commissioner Kibbe is not present. Commissioner Gascon is not present. And Chair Armstrong,
Present.
Vice Chair Burns.
Present.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Excellent. Would someone like to make a motion for the acceptance of the agenda?
I'll make a motion that we accept the agenda, September 17th.
Second. I just wanted to actually make one specific change. I just thought that we're not sure about the next meeting date. So that will be a TBD once Jay confirms that. But otherwise. So with that idea, second. Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
All right,
Any public comments? Public comments. This time has been set aside for members of the public to address the Public Arts Commission on items of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. And agenda items if a member of the public cannot be present later in the meeting at the time the item is heard by the commission. Additionally, members of the public may address the commission on each item listed on the posted agenda at the time each item is heard. Although the Public Arts Commission values your comments pursuant to the Brown Act, it generally cannot take any action on items not listed on the posted agenda. 3 minutes are assigned for each speaker. Jay, are there any public comments?
Ms. Karen, do you have a public comment?
No, sorry, I'm just listening in.
Okay, you have your hand up, so.
Oh, it's because I didn't hear any audio and I thought maybe my computer was messed up
Okay, thank you.
before you started, but it was after 11, so I wasn't sure.
Okay, remarks from the chair.
Oh, Mr. Chair, anyone in the audience have public comments?
Remarks from the chair. So this project started easily 7-8 months ago. And this came on the heels of the Pillars of Palm Springs, which was a major initiative for the commission and the city. At that time, we used a selection committee, a blind selection committee. We did not know who they were. They were pulled together through our procurement department. The selection committee made a recommendation to council, goes to the commission, we accepted, and then council approved them. At that time, the Arts Commission said, we would like to be the selection committee next time. We want to be involved in every aspect. So that's what we're doing now. This is a lot of work. There's a lot of work went into bringing it to this stage, and there's a lot of work demanded of the commission. So at the end of this, we can decide if we want to go back to selection committee or we like to keep doing this. And that's absolutely fair. We can decide whichever way we want to go. Every process that we take, we can change, we can implement, or we can neglect. Okay, so the process we're going to go through this, as you see, we have 40 qualified submissions. And I say qualified because there was 1 or 2 submissions that were not compliant, so they were not submitted. And inbox, Commissioner. There were 40 qualified submissions. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through every submission one by one. You have a document in front of you that lists them all. Our intent is to whittle them down to the top 10 to 12. And so we will do sort of a round robin, and I will go through once, talk about every one, and then we're going to go through the whole thing again. And you're going to vote if you think that first one deserves to be a finalist. Unless it gets to be a majority vote, just a hand vote, it will be removed. And we will do that for everyone, and then we will see how many we have. We think it will take 2 to 3 rounds of going through this, just simple submission, until we get to 10 to 12 vote, the finalists. Once we get to 10 to 12 finalists, then we will have in-depth conversations about what we think makes them appropriate, inappropriate for them. Through the first and second and potentially third round robin evaluation, if there's one that you feel you would like to comment on, and you can justify why you think it needs to be observed, you're free to speak up at that point. But again, know that we have limited time and we really want to whittle down to the ones that it may be your absolute favorite, but if it's not going to get the majority vote of the commission, it's not going to. And we're just trying to make simplify this process.
When you say finalist, it's not the act, it's the artwork.
Not the argument,
Okay.
the 10 to 12 finals, and at that point, we will then discuss them in depth and review. There are some that, you know, I think are great designs. They're just not appropriate for a park. And there are certain things, and the key is to go back to what the call for artists said. So I will articulate that at the beginning. So if everybody's in favor of that, we will move forward, but that is the process. We will then, as I said, get down to 10 to 12, knowing that we have money approved through the commission and council for Desert Highland Park and for Victoria Park. We have money placeholder in our budget for Baristo Park and for Gateway Park. That's El Rancho Vista Estates. So if we find some that we think are appropriate for El Rancho Vista and Baristo, we can select them, and then that will need to be financially approved by the commission and council as well when they do the final approval. My intent is that we, for each park, choose a winner and then a runner-up. And then we will go to that community and say, here's the one that we selected, here's the runner-up, which best represents what your community likes. So that's how we get to the 10 to 12, and that way we'll have community involvement. Okay. Any questions, Bob? No? Great, Jake, pull the presentation up. We started at the very beginning. I just want to read that. Okay. The call said that the sculpture can be any shape, form, or design. And the proposed artwork should feature imagery and a color palette that is welcoming, with a focus on themes that promote community, healthy living, family, and mutual collaboration. Each one has a $50,000 budget per site installation. Okay. The first one was called Moonstones by artist Ben Alanoff. And this was 14 smooth, non-flaking boulders arranged in the shape of a crescent moon. The bigger boulders at the back went up to 6 feet tall, and the smaller ones went up to 1 foot tall. And the area was 35 feet by 50 feet. Number 2 was Eclipse by Ben Alanoff. And this was 11 cedar poles, each one 12 inches in diameter, arranged in a straight line with 12 inch space between each pole. The tallest central pole reaches 14 feet above grade. The 2 smallest poles reach about 9 feet above grade. And these were 2 different designs that he submitted. These are whichever one you want to choose. The third is Triangle by artist Ben Alanoff. And this was 11 steel tubes, each tube being 4 inches in diameter and 13 feet long, and they would be installed in cement in the ground. The next submission was by artist Jacob Arden, and it's called Line Study. This was a deconstruction of what he considered to be mid-century architecture. And this was painted industrial steel panels with a height of 8 feet, with a length of 16 feet, and the depth of 12 feet. And you can see from his design how it will look. The next one is by 2 artists, Solomon Bassoff and Dominic Mortarella. This was painted pigmented concrete, Italian iridescent glass mosaic on the back of the skink. That's the creature's skink with the edges sanded, and this would be 96 inches long, 22 inches tall, and 45 inches deep. Number 6 is the Recycled Rainbow Project by artist Leanne Bobo. And this entails 1-inch PVC pipe with over 400 bottles. And this would create a 10-foot tall rainbow arch spanning 2 recycling weighted trash bins. Number 7 is Community by Marconi, Galindas, Configi, and Jeffrey Howe. And this is painted iron panels that are 11 feet 9 inches tall and 4 inches wide and 3 feet deep. This is 2 panels of 6 figures and then 1 panel in the middle that says Community. Flame of Hope by Marconi, Galindas, Configi, and Jeffrey Howe again, and these are painted iron panels. The only dimension we found was the total piece was 7 inches tall. But it was staggered to create a flame when you stand on these three has 7 feet tall. 7 feet tall. Didn't I say that? I said 7 feet. This is Article 7. Now, this one I want to clarify. On the original folders, it had the name of the person who submitted it in his name, but the artist's name is really Oleg Wallington. The design did not change. And this is flat stainless steel abstract ellipses. There was no measurement information provided, but we included the image of one person so you can see it's larger than a body tall. This is Guardians by Amir Fallah. This one, he mentioned that he would work with the community to create symbols and symbolism that represents each community. He provided 2 designs, which is on your folder. And this would be painted iron panels, so that would be 8 foot tall by 3.5 feet wide. Number 11 is Hear, See, and Speak No Evil by artist Kim Babinger. And this is cast in bronze with high quality acrylics. And she guesstimated it would be around 27 inches tall. And then for reference, we included the Humpty Dumpty, which is larger than that. So we also could get that one done in scale as well if we chose. But she was really submitting the 3 top. This is Palm Spring by artist Scott Brashauer, and it's painted in twisted metal that would be approximately 15 feet tall. He did not provide a width or circumference. Popsicles by 2 artists, Kristen Gittens and Scott Musgrove. And this is painted steel and bronze, approximately 12 feet tall, and the footprint overall is 10 feet by 7, and it is the popsicle and a little bronze dinosaur at the heart. This is Spaghetti by artist Jack Howard Potter. This is galvanized and powder coated steel, and it is 10 feet tall, 24 feet long, and 18 feet deep. And this is a deconstructed body. Uprooted by Bernard Boyes. This is made of concrete fondue, and concrete fondue is an application where you put the powder into the concrete so it firms up quickly and you can get more texture into it. And treated wood. And it is 10 feet tall. Go back 1 second, Jay, please. 10 feet tall, 6 feet wide, and 4 feet. I think it's supposed to be deep depth, but that was what he wanted that deep. All Things Girls Love by artist Paul Cole. And this is 2-inch round steel tubing with automotive paint and cement, which would be 15 feet tall and 8 feet wide. And this is sort of a flat, transparent piece of art. There was no colors mentioned for what it would be painted, but it would be able to be painted certain color. High Five by Chad Lefevre, and this is painted iron panels, 12 feet tall and 6 feet in diameter. Ancient Cotton Feathers by artist Adrian Littman, and this is stainless steel feathers with a corn steel structure, and the corn steel is the ground on the sides. On a cement pad, this would be 15 feet tall by 16 feet wide. And this is 9 Dancing Feathers by artist Adrian Littman. Stainless steel feathers and corn steel column with copper appliques. And this would be 14 feet tall and 12 feet wide. Dancer number 6 by Lyle London. This is welded aluminum plates, and there's 4 distinct finishes on this to create that iridescent color shape. And this would be 11 feet tall and 7 feet wide. That's One Giant Disco for Mankind by 2 artists. They go by the name of Los Gatos Locos. And this is ferro cement construction, and then a highly reflective treatment that would be 7 feet by 10 feet by 12 feet tall. Play by Madawi, Michael Bernberg. And this is a pink steel, gently sloping dome that says the word play. And this would be a little under 8 feet tall and 16 feet in diameter. Palm Springs Window by Billy Joe Miller. This is powder coated paint metal with acrylic paint, and it's 5 feet 6 inches by 10 feet by 3 inches. Base dimensions are roughly 5.5 feet by 2. Blossom by Jeff Modrick, which is cast resistant with a reinforced steel armature and painted with durable all-weather paint. Now this one was interesting. It was the structure that she then had holes and placement where you could put plants into it, and the plants were interchangeable, just then seasonally they could be put in there. Balancing that by artist James Moore, the stainless steel with a brushed metal finish. And no dimensions were supplied, but obviously from the body, you can see it's large. And this is the two sculptures for the one design, Balancing Act 1 and Balancing Act 2. Dance of Life by artist James Moore, stainless steel with fresh metal finish, no dimensions supplied, but much like the others, they're larger than life. And this is the two pieces from two different perspectives dancing together. Blue Soul by artist Anne Baker Nichols, and stained steel panels, approximate dimensions of 12 feet tall by 6 feet wide by 6 feet deep. And it's just the blue, the black silhouette is not part of the design. Pink Moon by artist Anne Baker Nichols, painted 3 8-inch steel panels, approximately 15 feet tall by 15 feet deep and 20 feet wide, and again, the black demon silhouettes are not part of the design. Individuality number 2 by Dominic Panzera. This is mixed media. It's 9.5 feet tall, 6 feet wide, and 6 feet high. And this has various famous portraits embedded into the finished artwork. This is Hello by Kristen Petard. You can see up there in the park, there's a replication of what the image will look like. And then down below is so you can see the silhouette. This is a heavy duty freight in aluminum. There were no other dimensions supplied, so we don't know the exact height, but I imagine it's larger than life. Pear Labyrinth by Marcia Raff. There's no measurement provided on this, but this is a bronze pear which she has made, and she said she could enlarge it to the largest size that are made of light that we have. Desert Bloom by artist Ben Sonor. This is painted stainless steel that are 15 feet tall. This submission includes 3 distinct flowers. And he said right now that they are the same, but they could be slightly different to create an overall bouquet. Okay. Shapes and Sizes by artist Ben Sonor. This is painted stainless steel that is 12 foot tall. And these are 3 cactuses. And they are meant to represent different bodies, shapes, and sizes. Family Francis by artist Marek Struzik. There's an internal steel construction coated with a dedicated concrete-based sculpting mass. And that is 11.7 feet wide and 2 feet deep and 8.2 feet high. Silver Lining 3 by Susan Lim. This is stainless steel with a resin cast, and there were no other dimensions cited, but you can see it's, I would guess probably 12 feet tall based on that body supply there. This is Dialogue by Dr. Toro Toro. This is reflective orbs which rotate in the wind. In your file, you saw me provided an animated GIF, and 2 silver orbs, almost like eyes, sort of rotated in the wind. There was no other information provided in terms of materials or the height. Transparency in Time by artist J.B. Trejo. This was an interactive, multidisciplinary, and kinesthetic audiovisual sculpture made with plastic transparency films and acrylic plexiglass. There was no design supplied, but these were pieces that he included as his previous work. Garden Art Metal Sculpture by artist Travell. This is metal panels with a painted skin, and this is approximately 2 feet by 2 feet by 8 feet. This is Huddling by artist Jeff Zischke. It's painted plate steel with supporting ribs that's approximately 15 feet tall by 8 feet wide. And last is Rover by artist Jeff Zischke. Painted steel, 15 feet tall by 2 feet long and 15 feet wide. Okay. Now we will start at the beginning and we will go through each one. And if you think number 1 deserves to go to the final round, you can vote for it, and if not, it's eliminated. And again, our goal is to eliminate down to 10 to 12 final submissions. Okay. Number 1, Moonstone by artist Ben Alanoff. Is anyone in support of this? No. And maybe he's taking record of the vote on the side there. Okay, number 2, Eclipse by Ben Elenoff. Is anyone in support of this installation? 1,
Yes.
2, Tina, okay. 2, it's not a majority, so it does not go to the next round. 2 people voted. Okay. Triangle by Ben Elenoff. Anyone in favor of this going to the next round? No? Okay. Line study by artist Jacob Arden. Is anyone in favor of this going to the second round?
I've got a question for you. You have a guideline for how many votes we should expect on the round?
As many as you like.
Okay, thank you.
Just know that ultimately we need to get it down to 10 to 12.
I'll vote for this one.
So you voted for this one?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else for this one? Not a majority, did not go to the second round. Fiducie proposal. Anyone in favor of this one going to the second round? Not going to the second round. Okay. Recycled Rainbow Project by artist Leanne Vogel. No one voted, not going to the second round. Community by Marco and Jeffrey.
Yes.
3. Not a majority, not going to the second round. Flame of Hope. 2. Not a majority, not second round. Article 7. 2. Not second round. Okay. Guardians.
Yes.
4, 5. Okay, that one goes to the second round. Hear, see, speak no evil. Artist Kim Danger.
Yes.
1. Does not go to the second round. Next, Palm Spring by artist Scott Rochelle.
Yes.
4.
4.
That goes to the second round. Popsicles by Kristen and Scott. I'll say yes, no. Let's not go to the second round. But okay. Spaghetti by Jack Howard Potter.
Yes.
Okay.
4.
Great. Second round. Uprooted by Bernard Boyes. 1 does not go to the second round. All Things Grove Love by artist Paul Cole.
Yes.
1. Not go to the second round. High Five by Chadwick Beaver. With that one. That goes to the second round. Ancient Cotton Feathers by Adrian Butler. 2,
Yes.
3. Does not go to the second round. 9 Dancing Feathers. 1,
Yes.
3. 3 does not go to the second round. Dancer 6, Lyle London.
Yes.
5, 6.
6.
Goes to the second round. That's One Giant Disco for Mankind.
Yes.
Los Gatos Locos. 3
3.
does not go to the second round. Plague by Nadawi. 1 does not go to the second round. Palm Springs Window by Billy Joe Miller. 1 does not go to the second round. Blossom by Judith Modrick. Okay, does not go to the second round. Balancing Act by James Moore.
Yes.
3,
3,
does not go to the second round. Dance of Life by James Moore.
Yes.
3,
3, does not go to the second round. Blue Soul by Anthony Nichols. 1, does not go to the second round. Pink Moon by Anthony Nichols.
Yes.
3,
3, does not go to the second round. Individuality number 2. 1,
2,
2, does not go to the second round. Hello by Christian Guitar.
Yes.
Does not go to the second round. Hair Labyrinth. No votes. Does not go to the second round. Desert Bloom by Ben Sinar.
Yes.
Well,
that's 4,
Shapes and Sizes by Ben Sinar.
Yes.
5, 6.
6,
Family Princes. Remember, it's
that's 4,
5. Is that a yes or no? Or it goes to the second round. Silver Lining 3 by Susan Lind. Only one vote. Okay, so that's 3, does not go to the second.
Oh,
round.
that's so bad.
Dialogue by Dr. Soto Ferrero. 1, does not go to the second round. Transparencies in Time by J.T. Trejo. No, does not go to the second round.
Mr. Chair, can I just confirm, Silver Lining 3 is out, correct?
It got 3 votes.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought that's it.
Garden Art Sculpture by Artist Lisa Gravel. Anyone? Does not go to the second round. Huddling by Artist Jeff Siski.
Yes.
6, goes to the second round. Okay. Rover by Artist Jeff Siski. Okay. You don't get a vote. Neely, what's our total that goes to the second round?
Guardian. The voting, Palm Springs. High Fire. And Persist. Desert Bloom, Shapes and Sizes, Family, Houses, and you have Halloween and Roto.
What's the total amount on that one? I got 10, but
I'm showing 10.
10, okay.
Okay.
Now to clarify, part of the rule is one artist could only be selected for one part. They can't have pieces in consideration for both parts. So if, for example, we choose Rover by Jeff Siski or Victoria Park, his huddling cannot be considered for another park.
Sorry, can we just go through, I was not following the titles. Could we just give me the numbers that have passed?
Sure.
Number 10.
Okay.
We have number 12. 14, 17, 20. Second page is gonna be 32, 33, 34, 39, and then that's still.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have 10, but we also have 2 artists with 2 submissions. So we need to deal with that. Can you go back? We're very harsh critics here, apparently. Very efficient. Can we go back and review the ones that were 3s and see if there's anybody wants to make a call for? Just because when we do have the double with two artists, we need, we'll only build this up in the bond, so we've actually cut it down to theoretically 8. And I just want to verify that we don't have anything that. Now that people know what the field is, and there may be one with a 3, and Jay and you take us through those.
I didn't keep track of the 3s. Or just either in or out.
Okay. You, maybe
Number 7. you can give those.
number 7 was community with Marconi.
Well, let me readjust the screen so I can share that.
Yeah. We did that half an hour. I do want to state that there were some pieces in here that we eliminated for the parks that I'm going to bring to a future commission meeting to consider elsewhere. Because some of these pieces I think may be really appropriate in the airport. And there may be 1 or 2 other pieces that might be considered for the convention center. Again, with the park piece, I have a very special focus on brightness and welcoming and family and engagement and positivity. But some of these other pieces are more thoughtful. And I think that they may work well in other aspects of the city. So just because they did not make it to this round does not mean that they're not worthy elsewhere in the city. And so I think every artist did an amazing job submitting. It takes a lot of confidence, and you're bearing yourself as an artist when you make a submission like this. So congratulations to all of them.
So here was number 7. That was a 3 vote.
Spree,
Who else was there in that list?
Ancient Cotton Feathers. Okay.
Number 9.
9 Dancing Feathers. In fact, this one from Android.
I'll speak up for why I voted for the disco astronaut. I was intrigued by its pop artiness and its monumentality. I loved the very reflective finish. I was amused that we had a figure in an astronaut assuming a pose of a Buddha, I think a single lotus pose. And the disco ball head I thought resonated with my generation and the generation that's ahead of me who loved disco music. I could see that kind of art I could see that piece as well in inside an art museum, just seeing the interesting, different than many of the things that I've seen. It wasn't abstract, it was quite detailed when we poster. That's why I had selected.
And I believe that's that. Okay.
We think it's that's what we like.
I love that piece too. I just did a vote. I think formally, I think the idea of Buddha, everything in the park, and I like very much the pop look. I just don't, formally speaking, there are no open spaces. It's too massive, it's too blocky. That's the only thing that bothered me in the park. But formally speaking, I don't like it. It looks like a blob. But I do like the whole thing that comes with it. But again, just to.
That's why we're here. Get a comment for us.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on Adrian Lynn's pieces, Ancient Feathers and 9 Dancing Feathers. Specifically because I think it would be a great representation of the indigenous peoples that inhabited or still inhabit this land. Especially the 9 Dancing Feathers, since the 9 feathers represent the 9 tribes here in the Coachella Valley. My only hesitation is that I do hope that Adrian Littman would work with the tribes to finalize the look of the sculpture. The quiche especially, or the hut, I should say, is a very common symbol here for indigenous people. And then, yeah, I just thought that it was a good representation. I just hope that we would really be in touch with the tribes because they are still living. You have sway here in the Coachella Valley to be part of that process.
I agree with you, you know, I don't know his personal background, we don't ask that in the application process, all I know he is. Part of the trial, we don't know. These two and the one by Bernard Boyes, dealing with the section 14 issues are the ones that I thought were interesting and worthy of being in our collection, just not with this, within this program, but there's going to be very engaging community, welcoming colors. So I just didn't think that these personally were thought they were appropriate for this initiative. And that's it's on your point. Recongregation, you know, after we do these votes, we can take this on and talk to him and do custom submissions. So that's all available to us.
I'm gonna add to what you're saying, the section 14 sculpture, I would have voted with Nastasia on that one too, because artistically and intellectually, I really liked it. I just worried that it wasn't durable enough to be a permanent outdoor sculpture because of the treated wood that looked like mesh, thin concrete veneer, and at least in the photo, it looked like it was on a base of driftwood or solid wood. Inside a gallery space at convention center, it would be interesting because it's relevant.
That was exactly my feeling as well as the finish, and I loved the concept of being uprooted. I thought it was really interesting, but not the chosen materials.
Make those, or proposed before concrete or something more durable, definitely.
Yeah. And so, as I said, we can take these submissions and then individual commissioners, they can go work with the artist, make changes, and then bring back to the commission and co-ops. So that's what I was saying. I think we have a lot of great opportunities. So do we have any more that had 3 votes that we felt we needed to discuss?
Yes, let me put these up.
Well, for community, Marconi has done a lot of work for, the city already. He's already, visually well known. And I just thought that having something more for, families and children at the park, and how colorful and bright and playful it was, definitely would, see that appropriate at Victoria near the, or somewhere near the playground and seeing kids around it. That's why I would.
The Marconi pieces I thought were interesting. The flame, the sharp edges through this, you know, in a park with.
Yes, I don't think.
We can't have sharp edges like that. And I thought the community, the bodies were interesting. I thought the word community could have been designed a little more sensitive. It just seems sort of tucked in there and not part of the overall design. So I guess that I like his work and he's doing a major project that Carlos is leading. So I hope he eventually we get permanent piece in his collection. I just don't think it's what we used to. It's aesthetic. We just need to focus for safety reasons too.
We also had 25, balancing act. And 26.
I like these two. I think there's a playfulness and energy to them. And when we look at his finished submissions and their designs, I thought they were playful and they would work well within the environment if we put them sort of near trees so they were not sort of isolated too much. I could see them working really well at that sort of narrow part at Rancho Vista Estates. Because, you know, it's narrow, these are elegant, and they have sort of a mid-century feel to them. I can also see them working well right near the Janzo Jesse Community Center. I think it would be interesting as well. You know? But if they're not supported, they're not supported.
It's some great past work as well, with like a lot of kind of represents like youth and adolescence a little bit.
Yeah.
These ones were definitely interesting, but this past work kind of had motions of play and like throwing a ball and things like that. But I think a great aesthetic though for sure. And kids are,
yeah. So again, maybe James Morrison, artist, who's going to file, and I think one of the commissioners can say, I want to work with you and come up with something that we want to present. You know, maybe something that goes in Duluth Park. I think maybe it'd be something where people are doing sports or activities or something like that.
This one also had 3 votes.
This was another one that I was concerned about, sharp edges. All I see is kids running. into the
She's one of those actors here, right? The backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she had the same thing with those waves point to it. In the middle of the street is fine, but I think it's also dangerous.
Yeah. It's like to see losing an eye on the sharp
Yeah.
edges. I actually like it with the silhouette figures there, but I don't think it fits your design.
I liked both this and her blue sol, which was only received 1 vote, mine.
Yeah.
Earlier, because I like her work, I like that they're like dioramas, I think they're beautiful. They remind me of Alexander Calder in some ways. But it's, your comments suggest that next time you put out an artist call for park art, you should put in safe.
It was.
It was.
It was.
Oh, I didn't see
There was very specific things in there, and even the playground equipment guidelines were included.
That's
So when we were dealing with Parks and Recreation Department, they gave us guidance, so there should not be anything that kid could get their head stuck in. And no kids did that, but apparently they do, so we just have to be concerned about safety issues.
Okay, thanks for correcting.
But that wasn't good. Now, this piece would be something that might be interesting at the airport. You know, there's the big open fields at the airport, and this piece might go well there.
Yeah, I like it.
So
Like it.
again, we'll review this at the next meeting and commissioners can say, I want to take this on the next round. In terms of beyond this art suite program.
It's like an opera set. Going on the hill house.
This is what I love the most.
Talk about what, Carlos, convince your other
I
commissioners.
think it has that, I mean, when I think about sculptures, park,
Carlos,
I think about.
Commissioner, would you please use the microphone also?
Oh,
You have microphone.
when I think about sculptures in parks, I think about kids first of all, and this has the kid aesthetic of anime, kind of Japanese. I love it. It's like those cartoons that, how to call those girls, the superheroes.
Powerpuff.
Yes, I think it's the cloud girl, I think it's very whimsical. I just think it's very childlike, beautiful.
Is there anyone that didn't support this one before that's changed their mind?
I just want to add the only reason why I didn't support it was, I was concerned about vandalism, just because having a big white sculpture there, I can only imagine, people making marks on it and making a face or doing stuff like that. And yeah, I love the idea of it. It reminds me of a bobblehead, and it's kind of reading through it right now. But yeah, it just to me seemed like a little danger of being defaced. More so than the other sculptures in my opinion.
Any other thoughts or comments on this? Yeah. That's it.
So we stick with the original 10.
Original 10, go down to
You
it.
guys are tough.
That was efficient. So let's start with the first one on the 10. And that would be Guardians.
Tina, did you have any, I heard that you were trying to speak earlier, Tina, did you have any questions? Can you hear us, Tina?
No, I don't think so. It's not responding.
Tina, can you hear us?
Me? Yes, I can hear you.
I heard that you were trying to speak earlier, did you have any comments on these?
No, that wasn't me. Somebody else was in the room speaking. It wasn't me. Thank you, though.
Number 10, Guardians by Artemio Phillips. Any comments on this one?
Does this have the safety factor? Because I see a lot of sharp angles on this thing. Maybe it's tall enough where kids, won't get involved in it, but I don't know.
Well, I will clarify, this is just, in the artist notes, they said that this is design, and that before they finalize all the symbolism, they would work with the community to get symbolism that the community feels represents them. if you recall in the folder, they had another design similar with different iconography within it. So something like the sharp horns up top, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe that's a half moon. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's far enough away that a kid's not going to be able to put himself on it.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, Commissioner, would you want to address the proposals where where there's one artist with two proposals that were selected? Or just address that later?
Let's get to that later.
Okay.
I like this, a lot. I do have a concern about, this isn't the design that we're gonna end up with, so I have a hard time committing to something like that. And two, I think that the placement of this art and all art that we're talking about tonight has a major factor in terms of where I would think it would be more safe versus less. So if this particular piece is in the middle of a park, depending on where the placement is, I think kids are gonna climb on it. It is a challenge for, you know, if you're into rock climbing, you're gonna say, oh, I can scale that. But if it's in the front of the park, more of a, you know, where you would normally see a monument sign as a welcoming thing, I'll be less apt that kids are gonna climb on it.
Yeah.
So I think that has a factor in true in our decision in terms of where these things are getting placed.
I'll be honest, when I read through all the proposals, this one jumped at me as something great for Desert Island. Because they have a very, very active and a very, very private area, more so than some of the other teams. And as Carlos is dealing with them on the asphalt art initiative, I think they would respond well to this one. And I drove through all the potential parks on Sunday. I was doing like a patrol or just drive around slowly and looking at everything. But they have some places right near the front of the community center that where the monument sign is, and some parks that are by the community center, not in an active engagement area. Right where the parking lot was not in the street. The artist also did say that these colors, you know, the community helps choose the colors. So in terms of the design, the way I see it, if we did choose this one, we would then tell the artist, they would then go to the community, work up the designs very quickly, come back, show us the design, that's what council signs off on. So it would be, we'd ensure that there's not like middle fingers or something like that.
Right.
Okay. Any other question on this one before we discuss them? What I want to do is discuss them all then over that.
Well, I want to address the, sharp points, because I remember there was, I don't think it was in the party, there was a park that was next to a fire station, and the fire station has sculptures of Dalmatians.
Yeah.
That were steel, just like this one, and the steel was thick enough and large enough where, the edges were not sharp. So that if you touch them, wouldn't be cut, so the only thing I would say would be to watch out for would be the heat when it gets hot, but other than that, I've seen sculptures like this where it is safe. And a few other fire stations had those sculptures of Dalmatians, and kids tried to climb on them and they weren't successful, so.
Next one is Palm Spring, by Scott Reichel. As you know, Scott also did the equality pillar in the Village of Palm Springs. He tends to play with visual puns. And this is an interesting
A little Palm Spring.
Palm Spring.
I really like it. I just, I'm familiar with Scott's work as well. I commissioned the sculpture from him too, but I'm just, a little concerned about the palm fronds. I just hope that, they are, there have been instances where, cell phone towers with those, metal fronds have, fallen on people, and it's not pretty, so I'm just hopeful that these fronds here will be strong enough to withstand attempts of people climbing on it, or the wind especially.
I'm assuming that it'd be stable enough for the fronds, like you, I was concerned about the climbing. So
I
it's,
think it's 15 feet.
yeah, it's 15, so that means the lower spring loop would be around 5 feet. and you don't want to tease people to hop up and climb it. So we talked to Scott about that. Any other comments on this before we move on?
Just out of curiosity, is there some give to it? So, I mean, is it mobile in the sense that it will sway?
I think it's very sturdy.
Okay.
Jack Howard. Potter. Any comments before I make one?
I like it a lot in a creepy way. It's like body parts.
But, in that regard, that's the reason why I didn't vote for it. I'm sure children would be asking questions and parents would be like,
I don't see any, I don't see anything sexual, but
well, no, it's not necessarily sexual, but in a kind of creepy way, I'm sure, like some people.
oh, creepy is good. I love creepy when I was a kid.
I think kids love creepy.
Yeah.
Kids love creepy.
Yeah, it's not scary. It's kind of weird.
Mhm.
Chris,
I didn't originally vote for this one, but the more that we do talk about, I 100% see the, yeah, kind of the abstract, maybe it could be a little bit creepy and scary, but,
Microphone?
the choice, but the choice of colors are nice too. Kind of primary colors, easy, playful. But
And you can interact with it and there's no danger. There's nothing point.
so many people wouldn't be able to walk under it, right? But the.
I think in the back red part, you would walk under it.
Yeah,
And again, this is one of those all over placement. You know, we originally, 9 months ago, when we approved this initiative, had Victoria Park. And since that time, they've installed only for playground equipment and massive awning. So you could drive by there and you just see that big awning. And so any RV you put near there needs to be old enough to not disappear next to that playground equipment and awning. And that's one of the reasons why I like this one, because I think it's big, it's bold, and is bright, and it work well. And again, Victoria Park is essentially a playground.
There's already a sculpture there, but building pole, right?
Yeah, there is, which we'll talk about later. It needs to be. So as I said, I like this one. This feels sort of like, as you said, Carlos, it's kind of creepy but playful, and I think kids will like it. And it's, you know,
it's perfect for a park, all the open spaces and everything. I think it's.
next one. I Chadwick Beaver, comments.
I really like this one. I think it's fun and durable enough since the examples of his work show the pictures are pretty solid. So and the fact that they're 12 feet tall, so people, children can walk through them and walk around the sculptures too. So yeah, I think it would be appropriate for a park.
Yeah, I really like this one as well. I think just the motion kind of has this like lifting up feel, almost like a bit of community, very simple. Almost seems like a little bit of bonding, playful celebration of sorts. And the choice of colors are nice.
I like this one when I first saw it, and I feel like I've seen this design. Whether it's the UNICEF logo or something like that. And I was like, oh, you know, this is so I don't dislike it, but I don't have a strong feeling towards this. I do some of the others, like the previous one, which are just like, wow, that's different. And I think our challenge as a commission is to always be pushing forward just a little bit. You know, let's do something that's a little, oh, okay, that's kind of different.
It was like the popsicle. The popsicle also seen that so many times already in around,
Yeah.
melting in it. But I like it. Yeah.
So, as I said, I don't dislike this one. I just think that some of the others are more innovative. Okay, next one. The answer, I believe the answer 6.
I think this piece is beautiful. It seems a little sophisticated to me for a park with kids. I mean, I can see this like maybe at the airport or in front of like an arts building. For a park, it seems a little bit too, I don't know, sophisticated. I don't see kids interacting with this.
Any other comments? on this?
I think
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but yeah, a little much for a park with kids, and then do you have a bit sticking out over there? That might be a safety issue, but, yeah, I agree.
I think that piece is beautiful. I think it is, beautiful finishes and execution, and their work is really nice. So I can find a way to work with them eventually. The one park I think that this one would work well in would maybe be Gateway Park, which is the one by Rancho Vista. And that is, you know, it's not as family oriented as Victoria or Desert Island or Baristo, which as I said, they're pretty crowd parks. So I think this one could be a top contender for that location. And it has a futurism vibe to it, you know, the planes in motion.
Yeah, this one felt like a color piece to me, and it does have like a iridescent color changing.
And if you like walking around to see what else,
Yeah.
from different points of view, like it's a beautiful place.
So I would like this, I put this in forth for the Rancho Vista. So there, I agree with the comments. Next one. So Desert Bloom by Ben Sinar. Now we can really only move forward with Desert Bloom or the cactuses with that. Both of them have 3 pieces.
Having for desert bloom, just because, the flowers did remind me of, wildflowers that bloom in the spring. And, they die back, during the summer and winter, so to have, representations of the spring flowers in the park, I think is really beautiful, and a year-round reminder of them. And then the sculptures themselves are really beautiful, and, seeing that they're 15 feet from really high up, I think that it would be safe for a playground.
I like both, so
I didn't vote.
Oh, well. You know, but you know, these are finalists. If you have thoughts on one or the other.
I feel it's beautifully done, and I've seen others similar to, you know, in the Cordova site.
Yeah.
It looked like it looks like a response perhaps to our shade structure.
Dina, any comments?
Yeah, I mean, I like both of these. I think I agree with that comment that this looks more like the coverage. I think they're both very whimsical. I think they're be a great addition to the park. I think, you know, I think people associate cactuses more with desert than the flowers. But really, I think either one is appropriate for a park. I like them both.
Any comments?
I guess the more I look at 32, which I did vote for, you know, it maybe we can talk to the artists and push them into more of those shade structures, because I think that could be a kind of a cool concept on a larger scale than what this is.
Well, we can take, if we don't choose Desert Bloom, we can suggest he enter the beautiful shade with this exact piece with revisions, and we can award him the cactus for this one and put it in Desert Bloom. Two different channels. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with us putting this one in for park sculpture because this is appropriate for a park. My initial thought was the cactuses, somebody said they were playful or whimsical, and I think they are. I kind of feel like I've seen representative cactuses elsewhere. And that's why I sort of gravitate towards more to the bloom. But I don't think either of them would look bad. I just feel that the bloom is a little more family. Move to the next one, number 8. Is it 8? Yeah. Family Francis.
I voted for this one. It reminded me of Matisse. Of the dancers. I read the artist description of this one and I saw a family playing together. I love how it is monumental in size, but looks like it's sculpted out of putty with a knife by hand, small. And I like the pigmentation of the color. I think it's graceful.
Yeah, it seemed like made out of like silly putty or.
Yeah, I'd like to second it. I have a few notes. I thought this one had a lot of dynamic movement to it. Sort of shows parents playing with children. And yeah, a little bit of like family values. There's a fun kind of dancing movement to it. I think this would be great in the park. Simple extra.
I think like a piece of pottery, it looks like it was fashioned with fingers. Many of the other beautiful pieces, even considering are cut out of Portland steel and are much more industrial like. This feels very childhood fashions as well as professional artists.
I also feel like there's a really great balance between what we asked for being family and fun and very artistic, because I did see this is very sophisticated in terms of its aesthetic, but it also matches what we're requiring of the artist to bring it into a park. So this was clearly was my favorite. I had 2 stars on it.
Good to know. Yeah, any other comments before we move to the next artist?
The finish is a metallic thing,
Yeah.
I thought it was pigmented concrete.
but the final finish.
I think it was
Metallic.
a steel structure, but I felt that it was clad in a thick concrete.
Okay,
I could be wrong. We didn't need description.
Yeah, we can ensure that it's properly finished. You know, with the anti-graffiti coating on it. I'm going by artist Jadzicki. He did 2. This one is again oversized. It's like a big spider, I guess, crawling object. And then the next one was Rover, which is like the Trojan horse, but it's a dog. At first I was like, wow, that is so monumental. That's amazing. But then I was like, oh, it's only 50 feet tall. So his bodies are a little like, well, this is all 3 feet people.
Oh, your kids, so.
I love Rover. I think Rover is great. It's just,
me too.
you know, we've got big parks and I think it would stand out and just, what I noticed as I was looking at the majority of these that were submitted, including the ones like the Desert Bloom and that, a lot of these are almost like emoji. That these artists are thinking in concept and presenting into this visual graphic concept that emojis are happening today. So I thought that was interesting. So we're to choose between Rover and I would call. I would go for Rover. It's obviously.
Yeah, the other one is when you think about the Wish Watts spider, the famous one, that's the same thing. Then this one is almost like a copy of it. But the other one, Rovers, it's whimsical, it's beautiful.
And a lot of our albums utilize the parks as well, so it's gonna be lovely for them to see.
You know, Victoria Park is a big park that is set dog walkers. Just up and down, back and forth.
I like the size of the monumentality of Hubbard. To me, I was seeing ribbons of paint falling out of the sky, and I felt that underneath this almost dome-like shape or parachute is a shelter, place to shelter beneath, maybe lie on the ground and look up at it. Rover is really appealing as well, but it's to be looked at rather than
Interacting with.
interacting with.
I do think Rover would get people that take pictures with. I think it's one of the people would engage in sitting on a photo with this. Yeah, any comments on these 2?
I like this one, but I think that if you put it near like actual jungle gym equipment, it might look like it's just part of the jungle gym kind of playground equipment. I don't know how big, this might be a lot bigger. I don't know. The Rover dog I really like. The only thing about that is there's an artist couple that does all the metal animals around the Coachella Valley. You see them all up and down 111. Actually, there's one in the back of the public library. Our hero is a metal dog, and it kind of reminds me of this. You know, it's just doesn't seem as unique a piece, I guess. Because yeah.
Yeah.
But I like this. I think it's a fun piece for a park.
Chris, any comments on these two?
Yeah, if I had to choose between 39 and 40, I think my preference would be Rover. I like the large scale, the brightness, the simplicity of it. I think it could be a good magnet for people to sort of meet and congregate if they're gonna go for a walk or take their dogs. It just felt really, I don't know the word, like that very kind of simple, poppy, little bit, yeah.
I think this is a piece that if it goes in a park, it will end up creating an identity for that park. You know, because it is so dominant. And it's obvious, it's a dog, you know, whereas the other one is like, it's a ribbons of paint, is a spot, you know, what is it, which can have its own charm, but this one is, there's no fooling what it is.
It's like a juxtaposition a little bit of like that beautiful nature, but then it's like simple, moment and color.
Any other comments on these 10? Great, so now we need to decide which one we think is best, our lead one, and then a runner-up for Desert Highland. Would anyone like to make a recommendation and then justification?
Come up with the best. Come up with the best one. Among those.
For Desert Highland.
I would really like to see, now that I look at it, Rover kind of would be nice in Desert Island. But Desert Island, I think, is more of a community center of a playground. It's just so big that Desert Island definitely has the space for it, and it's not going to crowd out anything else.
Conversely, I would say because the playground put in Victoria is so big, something like Rover would stand up to that, and another piece may disappear. I think Warrior would be a great one at Desert Island. So I know they're a very strong community. And this
And it will be done in collaboration with the community.
exactly, and it's, you know, out of all of these, it's one that
Yeah.
engaged the community.
Just like the asphalt project thing, they have a lot to say, then one should talk to the artist and then one, so I think that would be a good one.
And the more you engage the community, the more ownership they have, and then they become protective of the vandalism too.
And I feel like family friends at Desert Island. Also too, Desert Island is usually a spot for Desert X as well, so to have a permanent, really sophisticated piece on that property too, I think would draw more year round people to the park rather than just the people from Desert X.
Yeah. Anyone else want to make a recommendation on the first one for Desert Island?
I think this, both, I think Family Princess also be very good for Desert Island.
Which one?
Family Princess.
Family Francis would be great
yes.
for Desert Island.
Yes, I think it embodies family, I think the thing of family.
I would probably say Guardians is first and Family Francis would be the runner-up.
Well, I would also suggest Desert Bloom just because, like I said, in the spring, since Desert Island is close to the desert where the wild spaces, the wildflowers there will really pop in the spring after the rain. And will be a good complement to sculptures, and then when they die back, at least the sculpture to be there to remember the wildlife.
Anyone else make recommendations for Desert Island?
Well, you said they would be receiving two,
A lead one and then a runner up.
yeah,
So I
so,
would suggest the lead one is Guardian. but we're gonna
and
vote on
then,
that, and runner
Family
up would be
Francis,
Family
and then they
Francis.
will
Yeah,
decide. Yeah, I think it's,
that would be my suggestion, but again, we have to vote on. Would someone, Carlos, would you like to make a motion that the first one for Desert Island is Guardian?
yes, I'll make a motion that, we select the Guardians for Desert Island Park. And, yeah, and do we say the runner-up? That's
We'll do that one second.
Hmm?
We'll do that as another motion.
Okay,
I'll second that. All in favor?
I,
Tina, did you say yes?
yes, I did.
So, Carlos, one, Chris, yes, Tom, yes, I'm yes.
I don't have something.
Okay.
5.
No, okay, fine. So then runner-up would be Family Francis or Desert Bloom. Does anyone else have enough runner-up for? Let's quickly do a show of hands for Family Francis, let's runner-up. Okay, so, we'll make a motion. Carlos, don't make a motion for number 2, runner-up is Family
yeah, I'll make
Francis.
a motion that, we present also to, Jesse James Community Center. The runner-up that would be Family Princess by the Rex Tuesday.
All in favor, or second, I'll second that,
Second,
all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and Tina was, yes,
6.
okay, so next we do the Victoria Park.
Like to see, on spring there, I think it would be a great musical complement to the playground. equipment.
Anyone else want to make a recommendation for Victoria Park?
I would recommend, Spaghetti and Spaghetti. I like the scale of it, the colors, it's playful. And for the grown-ups, it was kind of odd, what's going on there? And the kids just think it's color.
oh, that's,
The body
the
part.
body parts.
The body parts of the seniors.
Oh, I love that.
I actually thought Spaghetti would be good for Barista.
But we don't have the funding in people for Barista yet, you just have to.
We can approve the funding and then it'll go to council.
Let's see.
So, if you recall with Barista, they have the bifurcated park. And they came down.
Oh, yeah,
the park,
yeah.
and there's a piece over there. And I thought, well, that might be interesting. But this one would work on the color as well. I would nominate Rover to be in Victoria. I think Rover is one that's how families buy that they want the dogs and stand up to bring that for. Anything else? Anyone else?
Could I ask a clarifying question? If we might also, if you're suggesting that we're also going to discuss Barista Park, meaning we would be choosing 6 places today. 8. Oh, what was your fourth park?
2 for Desert Highland, 2 for Victoria, 2 for Barista, and 2 for Gateway.
And what are El Rancho Visto?
That's Gateway Park.
Oh, I see. Okay. So we will be choosing 8 of the 10.
Right.
Excellent.
Barista and Gateway. So for Victoria, it's big, it's old, it's a playground.
You mean road.
No, I'm just saying Victoria Park, you know, should be big and bold and playground. So Spaghetti would absolutely work there.
Yes,
I think, the one below Spaghetti, what's that one, Jay? See what I mean?
High 5.
High five would work there, may not be as dominant because it's only 12 feet tall. Rover would shine there. Desert Bloom would work there. may get lost a little bit. It's not as tall as the others, or dominant as the others. It's a little thin.
I would go with Spaghetti only because it is the most massive size that we have, and it makes an impressive statement. And I think that because there's the space.
Yeah.
It would, and it's different. It's, you know, it will stand out because people will have to talk about it.
He's inspired by football, right?
Sorry?
He's inspired by football, American football. I think because his early pieces were actually football players.
Yeah. There's something very dynamic and action oriented with it, and you know, you play soccer and you break a limb. Okay, so is there, so Spaghetti as number one. I'm gonna suggest Rover is number one. Anyone else suggest number one for Victoria? Offspring?
Yeah.
Okay. My hesitation with Offspring Victoria is it's a big park and we have to find a place to make it very easy.
So
So,
it's 15 by how? It's 15 feet tall, and then I'm assuming then the bronze and the spring itself would be massive as well.
yeah, it looks like maybe 5 feet across. Yes, yeah. I almost think Offspring would look better at grouping. There was like 3 or 4 of them.
But not for an open park, I think. For an open park, I think it's the body parts, sorry.
And Offspring, I could see working really well, in the airport. Small convention center. Yeah, it's just kind of visual, which song is known for, but. Okay, so, the top ones are Offspring, Rover, and Spaghetti. So who,
Rover is also is going to become emblematic of Palm Springs, so people taking pictures in front, like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Just, it's such a cute dog. It's
who supports Rover and Victoria Park?
I like both. I like also. The other one, it's Prigodi. Rover.
Four. And Spaghetti. 1. 2. Okay. And okay, so Palm Spring. 1. So Rover. Now the backup for Victoria, we could do Spaghetti, or we could say we want it from Barista. If we like it, because it's talked about obviously with the commission. Any thoughts on what should be number 2 for Victoria? Palm Spring.
Well, spring.
Yeah.
Jim? Okay. Chris?
The cloud girl, just kidding.
I was gonna make a motion to have Rover as number one for Victoria.
Okay, we can do that. I was gonna wait till we have. Okay, so let's make a motion. I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
Oh, road?
Yes,
Yeah.
for number 1. Okay, yeah. Now we need number 2 for Victoria Park, our backup. We could. If we wanted to, we could consider his second design for the backup. The ribbons of pink coming out of the sky. Chris, what would you put as number 2?
For Victoria,
Yeah,
What about high five?
what about high five?
How's the playground in Victoria Park?
how is it? Yeah, it's big, and they just have a big shade canopy on it.
It's big, yeah, so almost something green, definitely, yeah, that's right there.
In presenting the community at each of these locations with two choice.
Yeah.
Why is it necessary for us to rank order them the first choice or second choice?
Because ultimately we're the Arts Commission. And we make the choice and we say, here's the one we chose for you, and then the option if we do not like our first choice. Number two,
For Victoria Park.
yeah, number two for Victoria Park.
That was the 39. So it's
So you pick a second design.
for the grand scale of it, perhaps unless somebody else has something in there, totally up and.
I buy that.
With another option,
But because the different parts, fine.
No, it's
the
the
same
same park, but it's gonna be his the backup design. So okay, so you don't like dogs.
Oh, okay, so if Rogue doesn't go, yeah.
I support that. I would probably go with that one or maybe Desert Bloom. And I think Desert Bloom could work well if they're clustered near some trees. Rather than in wide open.
and we have more of a preference.
The Desert Bloom, those flowers are not kinetic, right? They don't move. It's just,
Well, if you're talking about scale, I think the cactus version of Desert Bloom would be better than that because they're wider and bigger.
Okay.
A little bigger footprint. Shapes and sizes.
Dana, any thoughts?
Yeah, well, the Desert Bloom I like, but if we're gonna ask him to submit for the shade project, maybe we don't want to pick it for this. I like Rover's, the artist who did Rover, I like his other piece. Number 39, I think it is. And I also like the cactuses. I mean, I think for Victoria Park, I'm looking at the rendering of Victoria Park and it's all the new stuff they're putting there is very colorful. So something that would sort of, like the cactuses would sort of fit in with all the color and all the other things that are in that park, or will be in the park. I think it would be a good fit. The dog for sure. And either the cactuses or the number 39. That one, yeah. But this one again still kind of looks like gym, jungle gym equipment. Which I don't know, maybe is a good thing.
Thank you, Tina. I definitely do like 33 shapes and sizes. But if we are gonna look at maybe having them submit Desert Bloom for beautiful shade, and didn't either. Definitely for back from this, yeah. I'm gonna go for number 39.
but
Yeah, that's fine.
I would go 39 as well, only because, I think that art should be inspirational, and so at least when you're looking at something like Huddling, you're challenged a little bit. So like,
Jim. No opinion?
Both Huddling and Shapes and Sizes in our first round each had 6 votes. So we all as a group like them equally. In this particular space, perhaps the size of 39. I'm just sorry to exclude Shapes and Sizes 33 because of the way that we're choosing.
Okay, so
If you're going to be having him submit the other one for a different project, then doesn't make any difference whether or not shapes and sizes chosen for this one, right? Or if he gets chosen for that, he can't be shapes and sizes.
well, shapes and sizes could work well at Gateway Park as well.
But we're about to move to a third part after this is done.
Yeah, so but if you want to focus on the ones we have financially responsible. Okay, so Is there any other ones considered as the runner-up for Victoria Park Club from Hudley? Palm Spring? Okay. Okay, so who favors Hudley?
I do, the compared Palm Springs, yeah, this one.
Okay.
Are we voting on Headline?
Yes, Hudley or, yeah, Hudley. Okay, so. Sorry, Scott. Okay, so number 2 for Victoria Park is Hudley. You know, those two are, as I said, are financially approved. Next, we're gonna go to Gateway Park. The Gateway Park.
Did you want to vote on that one,
Oh,
Mr. Chair?
sorry, I apologize. Yes, thank you for, would someone like to make a motion on this, the runner-up?
I'd like to make a motion on the runner-up from Victoria Park, is number 39, Cuddly, like that's. Or
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Everyone except for Natasha. Rebel. Okay, next is, as I said, Gateway Park. From Gateway Park, we have the money allocated in our budget. We have not formally approved it. So what we will do is we will make a selection. We will then go to the community. And then if they're in favor, we will then approve the money at our commission, and then we'll go to council for their approval as well. And we'll handle the research part the same way. So, I think we're left, could you remove the ones that we supported?
Including the runner-ups?
Yeah, including the runner-up. You can't be considered front of the park.
And family.
So that's right. Okay, so now for Gateway Park, it's a narrow park. It needs to be visual because the majority of people drive by it, so it needs to be substantial and very visually striking.
It's less than 2 acres too, and Barista as well.
That was back up the number Desert Highland.
Yeah, so that should come out, right?
I can tell that.
Barista is tiny as well, it's 2 acres, so they're both less than 2 acres, very.
If it's a narrow park, Palm Springs would be good.
I think Palm Springs would be great there. I think Dancer would be great there. I think Desert Moon would be great there.
I think Eagle has a lot of native plants in the park already.
Yeah.
I feel good as one better than.
Great.
I'm just looking at this, so Gateway, it's on the corner of, I think it's 16, so you're driving by as well. The Dancer Sticks is a great one. I do think it's a really beautiful piece. It could be very welcoming on that corner. It is very sophisticated, so I don't know if there is another location that convention or something like that. That could be around. But it is kind of a powerful point, which the shapes and sizes are nice too. You mentioned those
The
other.
lot visibility also, right? This one.
Yeah. 11 feet tall.
It's like it's cheap laundry, it's the cheap. The guy spot this over there.
I agree with, Dancer in that particular location. It is sophisticated, there's not a lot of foot traffic. There's a tremendous amount of highway traffic, car. And so, although the Desert Bloom is really colorful and impactful, I think that if one of the comments that one of the residents had made in the past was that they wanted to use the park as kind of demarcation of Palm Springs being an art community, and so that's where I'm kind of leaning toward a little bit more sophisticated piece, if that's the message that they want to give. But I think maybe what we can do is give them both options of dancer and Desert Bloom as a backup, and let them choose. Because the other thing too is that it is, I would fear that that dancer, if that's the correct name, but might get lost because of the landscape there, and it isn't as colorful as Desert Bloom, but both would.
I think that dancer would be my first choice. I think that even in the evening when you're driving by, it would reflect headlights well. And quite interesting. It's highly reflective in the iridescent color. And I probably would go with Palm Spring as the second, because I think if we remember the monument sign is right there. Palm Springs is right there, and then you have this visual piece of art that is Palm Spring.
Very cool.
It might be sort of interesting.
Like it,
So I would recommend Dancer 6 as number 1 and Palm Spring as number 2. I think that the Desert Bloom and the cactuses may not be noticed there as much because there is so much vegetation there. That's my opinion. And someone can make a move for any other choices between. So I think dancer should be the first choice, but I'm open to other suggestions. Gina?
Yeah, dancer is definitely my first choice for that location, and the Palm Springs one is probably my distant second choice for that park.
Tina would like to make a motion for dancer.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to have dancer be the first choice for Gateway Park.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No. That's aye. And Tina would like to make a motion for Palm Spring to be this runner-up.
Yes, Palm Springs to be the a motion to make Palm Springs the runner-up for Gateway Park.
Second. I'll make a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4, 5. Okay. Last is Barristo Park. And Barristo Park, as we know, is essentially an extended playground. A lot of families there, but the bifurcated portion actually is on Indian Canyon. So if we put something sort of big and visible there, it will get attention on that side as well. We are left with High Five, Desert Bloom, Shapes and Sizes, and the top, or what's one of the body parts? Okay,
stability.
stability.
You thought Spaghetti will be good.
I think Spaghetti would be great there. I think it works well, playground equipment is dominant. Visual.
This one needs a lot of space on it.
Yeah, I'm hesitant for that one just because the park is really small, less than 2 acres.
I think I find as well.
Either High Five or and then it is close to downtown, not just getting families to, but tourist watering as well, so.
I can see that as well.
So that either that or she's sensitive.
Spaghetti is one of the favorites of the entire suite, and I would, I'd be a proponent of it being a first choice for those.
Would you like to make a motion?
I'm not sure the discussion is finished about the pieces.
Well, everybody,
I can get behind that. I think it's.
Oh, I love this. It's, doesn't matter where.
I would like to move that Spaghetti by Jack Potter be our recommendation for the first choice for this.
Second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Dan's an aye. Okay. Congratulations on your first motion. Second, runner-up with Risto, we are left with high five, shapes and sizes for Desert Bloom.
I think for the same reasons that I like Spaghetti as a bold and large scale piece in that park, that I like shapes and sizes. Not because as a grouping it is as large as Spaghetti, but rather that it has the sense of monumentality because these are blow-ups of diminutive, delicate cacti with their flowers. And so it has a massiveness too that I think matches, we're close to the mountains. I believe in large scale art as much as you can. And I love the color, the different colors.
I agree with that. I agree. I also think that one of the issues with the Risto Park is not many people know it's there. And it just looks like playground equipment, and you don't even know that other part across from the wash area is part of the park. So I think if we put something like shapes and sizes there, it's almost like a big sign that this is from here.
Certainly beckons people to check out what's happening.
Any other comments or nominations? Would you like to make a motion? Runner up.
I would be pleased to make a motion that number 33, shapes and sizes of High Bend Senor or Sinai, be our second choice to recommend to the community for placement in that park.
Second.
Second.
All fair.
Aye.
Yeah, great. Congratulations. We did that very, very efficiently. And that was a lot of work, but I would like to close and say, thank you to all the commissioners for this process. It's legally, we have to keep all of our adjudication of these in the list. You need to be open with it and transparent. It's fair to the artists, and hopefully our comments will guide on future submissions. As I said, I think that there's a lot of pieces in here that were not selected that either the piece with revisions or other pieces of the artists preserved in our collection. So I would ask is for everybody to go through 40 pieces, and if there was one that you really liked that was not selected, and then take it off. The contact information from the artist is there. Visit Natasha, you can reach out to the artist to get the tribal pieces and find out if they are interested in doing more, and you can engage that. The work does not need to be just submission done in one. We can develop relationships and create things we like for the commission. Any comments on that? Any other comments, Jay?
No other comments.
Great. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the Public Arts Commission special meeting to a date to be determined. Jay will let us know shortly. In the large conference room in Palm Springs City Hall, located at 3200 East Hopkins Canyon Way. Second. All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Aye. Thank you, commissioners, and thank you to all the artists who submitted.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Neely.